أهلا بالجميع، حلقة جديدة ضمن سلسلة السياسة. وقبل أن أدخل في حلقة اليوم أقدم اعتذاري للناس اللي بتسأل عني بشكل متكرر واللي ما تسألش على الغياب الطويل. إن شاء الله بداية من هذا الأسبوع نعود رفع فيديوز على هذه القناة في مختلف السلسلات. وطبعا حلقة اليوم مخصصة عن غزة، ويعني بعد هذا الانقطاع لازم تكون حلقة عن القضية الفلسطينية The Palestinian Cause، القضية الفلسطينية باللغة الإنجليزية نسميها The Palestinian Cause. وطبعا راح تظهر مصطلحات وعبارات من العيار الثقيل مفيدة للصحفيين والناس المحترفة وحتى الناس اللي متوسطة. حلقة اليوم ما راح تكون مناسبة للمبتدئين المتوسطين والمحترفين وتحديدا الصحفيين. راح تظهر الترجمة لهذه المصطلحات مع الجمل، واللي حابب يعني يعرف معاني هذه المصطلحات بالتفصيل ظهرت في حلقات سابقة ضمن هذه السلسلة. ونبدأ بالجملة الأولى. مثل ما احنا عارفين هجوم حماس surprise attack out of Gaza stunned Israel and left hundreds dead. Super easy. Hamas militants, or you can call them fighters, you can call them armed people, resistance, call them whatever you want to call them, it doesn't matter. Infiltrated, you can even say penetrated, or broke through deep into neighboring settlements and installations, killing and wounding thousands of Israelis. And that was a disaster. That was a disaster in the eyes of Israelis. Israeli media, citing rescue service officials, said hundreds of people were killed and wounded in Saturday's attack, making it the deadliest attack in decades. Upon the attack, Israel, as usual, declared state of war on Hamas and vowed to retaliate. Retaliate is to revenge. You know, retaliation was on the way. Israel, as usual, vowed not to let this attack go unpunished or go unanswered. But you know, the fighters, the true fighters on the ground are waiting for them. But wait a minute, did Hamas attack Israel for no reason? What were the reasons or incentives of this attack? To put it simply, Gaza has been under siege and blockade for years, and it was even called the world's largest open-air prison. On top of that, Israeli troops have conducted arbitrary arrests, practiced violence for years against Palestinians, tortured the Palestinian prisoners, last but not least, expanded on daily basis in building settlements. And they're wondering, why did they attack us? They attacked you for no reason. Israeli actions and policies made many international organizations, including the Amnesty International, accuse Israel of committing the crime of apartheid against Palestinians. Additionally, believe it or not, Israel for years has refused the two-state solution and kept annexing more territories. And they're asking, why did they attack us? But wait a minute, Israel and its allies wanted the international community to condemn Hamas for the attack, but not to condemn Israel for its atrocity and brutality, which has been ongoing for years. Double standards. You know, America did condemn Hamas for the attack, but refused to condemn Israeli forces for the brutalities and atrocities. The same thing, you know, happening in Ukraine. The Russians are the invaders, occupiers. They're condemned by the international community. On the flip side, Israelis are the invaders, occupiers, but should not be blamed and should not be condemned. Why? They're innocent. Double standards. See, we can't buy the American, European slogans anymore. We just let it go, but we never buy your slogans anymore. Keep that in mind. Due to the recent images of innocent people being massacred for no reason, some countries have shown sympathy but not solidarity with the Palestinians, but those countries stand in solidarity with Israeli forces and Israelis. See? Double standards. Back to the attack, Hamas fighters used explosives to break through the border fence enclosing Gaza, then crossed with motorcycles, pickup trucks, paragliders, and speedboats on the coast. Upon the attack, Israeli forces launched airstrikes, you can even call them aerial bombardment, from land, sea, and air on Gaza, killing thousands and causing thousands of civilians casualties. Should we even think of blaming Israeli forces for killing thousands of Palestinians? We shouldn't. We shouldn't even think of blaming them, because those who are being massacred on a daily basis are Arabs, and Arabs have no price in the market. As you know, a lot of countries believe that Israeli forces and Israelis have the right to self-defense. On the other hand, Palestinians have zero right. Double standards. After seeing thousands of children, women, elderly people dead on the ground, a lot of countries have started to call in Israel to exercise restraint or self-restraints. What a shame. But all attempts went in vain. Believe it or not, Palestinians are deprived of their own basic rights. But who to blame? None. What's more, Israeli forces have mobilized more forces, summoned reservists, and even deployed more forces around Gaza. And as you know, days after the attack, many neighborhoods have been demolished, flattened, burned into ashes due to air strikes. Who to blame? None. But here's a good thing, and I have to say it because I don't want to sound biased. The Israelis sometimes, they, warn residents before bombing their houses. They usually drop leaflets asking residents to evacuate. Otherwise, the house and the residents might be bombed or must be bombed if the resident or the residents refuse to evacuate, because they might be accused of being, terrorist. The accusations and allegations are already on the table. As you know, thousands of people have been forced to leave their homes, which amounts to war crime or forced displacement of population. But those who are being forced to leave their homes are Arabs, and Arabs have no price. But let's not forget that Israelis on rare occasions allowed humanitarian corridors, and sometimes they allow such humanitarian corridors and attack the civilians within such humanitarian corridors. Is it a war crime? Yeah, it is. But who committed such a crime? Israelis. Should we blame? No. But if Arabs made so, we should blame them. We should get the hell out of them. Though the Israelis' reaction or retaliation was unprecedented, it was on a large scale, caused thousands of civilian casualties, and it was even seen and considered by a lot of countries as an act of collective punishment. Many countries refused to condemn Israel for its brutality and atrocity in Palestine. What a shame. As you know, Israeli forces targeted everything in Gaza. They targeted civilian facilities, health facilities, and many hospitals went non-operational or out of service. To put it simply, what is happening in Palestine is what we call ethnic cleansing. Palestinians are being massacred on a daily basis, and Israelis are mass killing Palestinians amid international silence. Why? Because they're Arabs. And as I said, Arabs have no price. Now, the status quo in Gaza is aggravating or exacerbating. Who knows? In days to come, the status quo may change to the better or to the worse. Why? Because Israelis refused to de-escalate and insisted on escalating. So, de-escalation is not a possibility, whereas escalation is a higher possibility. But let's hope for the better. Diplomatic sources this week said Qatar-mediated negotiations were underway to free some of the captives in exchange for Palestinian prisoners. And by the way, Qatar-mediated negotiation led to a ceasefire, a temporary ceasefire. And as I came to know before like 2 hours, the ceasefire was extended for 2 days. ولما حابب تقول انه شيء دخل حيز التنفيذ يعني بدأ سريان الهدنة مثلا ceasefire فعادة تقول bring into force أو come into force أو go into force يدخل حيز التنفيذ سواء كان مثلا قانون أو هدنة. فمثلا ممكن تقول the ceasefire came into force last night وبإمكانك تقول take effect أو go into effect برضو تعطيك نفس المعنى. super easy. وبكذا وصلنا لنهاية هذا الفيديو. لا تنسى تعمل لايك وشير. This is me saying to ya, see ya.